Hello and welcome to the interview here on France 24. My guest today is Fatih Akin, a German filmmaker of Turkish descent. Among his major successes, Head On, which won the Golden Bear at the Berlin Film Festival in 2004, and the comedy Soul Kitchen, which garnered 2 awards at the 2009 Venice Film Festival. This year, he has presented his new film, The Cut, a drama which background is the Armenian Genocide. It tells the story of a young man who is deported from his native village in Anatolia. The region had a large Armenian population before the genocide. He escapes from massacre and learns after the deportations that his daughters may still be alive. He then travels the world in search for them. Fatih Akin, hello, and thank you very much to be here with us. When and why did you decide to make a film which starts and which background is the Armenian genocide?
7 years ago, in 2007, when Hrant Dink, this Turkish-Armenian journalist who was the founder of Agos, the newspaper, when he was shot on 19 January 2007, that had a deep impact on me, you know. And through this assassination, I discover his writings, you know, I discover his thoughts, and thought this atmosphere of tabooism, this atmosphere of hysteria about a subject, you know, the Armenian genocide, was something what I really thought like I would like to break that, you know, with a film, you know. So there was an open discussion about the Armenian genocide in Turkey after Hrant was shot. So there was a room for such a film, and I used the room and I made it.
This film is the last part of your Love, Death and the Devil trilogy, which began in 2004 with Head On and continued in 2007 with The Edge of Heaven. What is behind The Cut? Is that the devil that lies within each one of us, within humankind?
Yeah, Love, Death and Devil is a kind of a mathematic equal for me, or physical equal to understand the human being, you know. So I believe that human beings are built upon love, you know, and death as transformation also, and evil, you know. So that means the transformation is like everything what can be good inside of us can turn into evil, and vice versa. I believe in these things.
You mentioned it earlier, the Armenian genocide is still a big taboo in Turkey, which government officially denies it. How was your film received when it was released in Turkey?
It was released very normal, and that was the best thing what could happen to the film. I said this earlier, before the film came out in Turkey. I said Turkey is ready for such a film, and the way the film came out into Turkey, which was very normal, you know, proved that. So it is not a taboo anymore. I mean, I didn't get any trouble with the governments. Okay, you have a lot of people in the street, you know, who are not very happy about such a film and such an event. They insult you, you know, they insulted me, you know, they insulted my family. These things are still happening, or death threats. But from the government side, it was a kind of like live and let live. Okay, you can bring your film out, you know, don't make it too much big deal about it. We will not interfere to make not a big deal about it. So things are changing with this issue.
Why do you think that on the government side it's so difficult to address the past of Turkey?
Well, what we have today in Turkey is a result of 100 years of brainwashing. You see, so this denialism is not a certain lie. It's not like I know the truth, but I'm not going to tell it. You know, it's more that people really believe their own truth, and this is the real problem, you know, to break this up. You know, you can tell and prove whatever you want to prove, people don't accept it because they have their own truth. You know, you tell the world is round, and they say no, the world is flat, and they're so convinced about it, and this is sad, you know, that it's difficult to break that through. And when this belief, when this brainwash had succeed in a society, in a wide society, it's difficult to break that up. One film alone cannot break this up.
Do you feel Turkish society has changed its views on this question over the last few years? And do you think that you could have made your film a few years ago?
I think I would have much more trouble with this film 7 years ago, in the year when Hrant was shot. You know, Hrant's assassination, I don't like the word, but it was a kind of like a martyrium, you know, because his death created a space that people were angry about it, why he was killed. People went out to the streets. 100,000 went to his funeral, and all yelling, "We are all Armenians, we are all Hrant Dink." You know, so whoever decided to shoot the guy, you know, saw that this was an error, this was a mistake. The opposite had happened. People were not afraid about their opinion. It was the opposite. People went with their opinion to the street. So writers like Elif Shafak, Orhan Pamuk mentioned the genocide, you know, in order to make a dialogue about it. There was a book by Hassan Cemal, which came out in 2012, called 1915, The Armenian Genocide. This book was published everywhere. You could buy the book easy in every bookstore in Istanbul. When the book came out, I was working
Hassan Cemal, who is the grandson of...
Who was the grandson of Celal Pasha, one of the persons who was responsible for the Armenian genocide. And his grandson said it was a genocide, and I call this thing a genocide. So what? And nothing happened. So I realized there is a room, there is a space for such a film. And yeah, it's true. I have no penalty from the state. I have no persecution from the state. The film came out there. Some liked the film, some didn't, you know, but the film was there. It was in Turkey.
Why did you choose to have a mute main character, and what made you choose the French Algerian actor Tahar Rahim to play Nazaret Manoukian?
One motivation to do the film was the idea of freedom of speech. You know, when I grew up with the discussion about the Armenian genocide, was like you couldn't use the term, the word, you know, genocide. It was, once you use the word, you get a lot of trouble. You know, this has changed, you know, but when I was dealing with it, it was in a way forbidden. You were mute. You were not able to talk about it. That's why I decided to make the hero mute. That was the one thing. And Tahar, when I was looking for the right main actor for this film, by chance I saw the film Un Prophète by Jacques Audiard. I was blown away by the film, and especially by the performance of Tahar Rahim. And it's like I don't have to search anymore for the main actor. This kid is the right guy. He's maybe a bit young, but I don't care. He's the right guy for the film.
How did you prepare yourself before starting to make this film in terms of historical research, particularly?
Research for years, you know. Each shot in the film somehow is based upon a photography we discovered I discovered from this period. I traveled a lot. The real journey of the hero, I mean, the film starts in Mardin, which is southeast Turkey today, and it goes to northern Syria, like places like Ras Al Ain. It goes to Aleppo. From there it goes to the Lebanon. From the Lebanon it goes to Cuba, and then to the States. I traveled the whole journey, you know, and every day I met several historical scientists, you know, asking questions about whatever is in the film. So it was a huge research process. It took some years. It was like studying. It was like a university diploma or something like that.
Fatih Akin, Turkish nationalists who flatly deny a genocide happened, threatened you. Did that make you doubt, or did you fear at some point for your life?
No, I didn't. You know, I didn't fear about my life, and I didn't took it too serious, these things, you know. This is the world of information and media. Everybody can spread his information via Twitter and Facebook everywhere, you know, and I was expecting these kind of reactions. You know, I prepared myself to handle these reactions, and I didn't give them too much thoughts. And I was right in doing so, because nothing happened, you know.
It took you 7 years to make this film, 7 or 8 years. You had to work in many countries, Jordan, Cuba, Malta, Canada, with a budget of 15 million euros, if I'm not mistaken. How difficult has it been to carry this out?
When you go out and do a film, in the end, you do the film. When you stay in front of the, sit next to the camera, you say action, you say cut. And it doesn't matter how expensive the film is. And I can say that I really enjoyed doing this, you know, because I worked so long on this and I prepared so long and fight so long to get the money, you know. I produced it myself not myself, with a bunch of other producers, you know, but I was like the head of the whole thing, and I enjoyed every day of shooting, you know. It was every day, you know, I went to the set with joy, in a way, you know. So I'm very thankful for the French participation on this. I had some very strong French producers on that. Fabienne Vonnet from Pyramid produced it. She passed away after the shootings. Karl Baumgartner, a German producer, was hired for this film to produce it. He also passed away, you know, by making this film. And I had several other partners from several countries. I had a producer from Italy, Poland, Russia, you know, a whole bunch of producers.
Fatih Akin, what do you wish for the future of this film?
I wish that the film finds its audience. I wish that the film will be considered as a film and not as a political statement. What it isn't. It is a story. It is, you know, it's an archaic story. You know, I wish the film will be seen still in 10 years, you know, and that people can discover stuff in 10 or 20 years.
Fatih Akin, thank you very much.